Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, on why did you decide to run for city council?
Okay. I was born and raised in Merritt, and I decided to run for city council probably right after the floods, because I was up in Kamloops and I was talking to a Red Cross volunteer. They said after they've gone through a devastating trauma, they said volunteering or helping out in the community or doing something to help the community help them through their trauma. And I thought about it, and I thought maybe if I became a counselor, city councilor, I could help the city of Merritt keep going forward and keep moving towards the future, because I want to raise my children here. This is where I grew up. My parents were buried up on the hill. Like, my mom's still in Gillis House, my dad and my grandparents are up on the hill, and I'm like, this is where it's part of who I am.
What are some of the skills and experience that you've had that would help you in being a city councilor?
Well, I'm an early childhood educator, so I work with students, and I'm also an EA at the high school and in the district. So working with the younger demographic, they always talk about the future of Merritt, and if they see themselves here or if they see moving away, and this is a beautiful town, they should be seeing themselves in this town, not be like, let's leave this town, because this town needs to have a future, and if everybody wants to leave, it's not going to have a future. So we need to keep moving forward, and we got to involve the youth and younger generation so they can have a passion and love this town just as much as I do.
What would you say are some of your top priorities if you get elected?
I would want to start to work more closely with the local bands, because what affects them affects us, what affects us affects them. And especially with a lot of bands, they have a lot of their community and members in our town. And I would like to start working towards getting a theater, because they've been talking about a theater since I was in high school. I'm like, we need to keep moving forward. We need to start making this town seem like a better prospect so that kids get more involved, like even if it's going to the movies or a play or... And then working on making sure that people feel secure, because people are still scared that the water treatment plant is not going to be sustainable for long, because a lot of the infrastructure is deteriorating or old, and we're building more buildings, and the water treatment plant survive? Yeah. And if we have another flood, will it be safe? And a lot of people are coming to me and they're like, these are our issues, and the roads, and especially since the Vote Street one is taking a long time, they're like, is it going to get done? Even though it says it's on time and on budget, it's just a lot of stuff. So I'm also coming in a year and almost 2 years late. So it's like, it's going to be a catch-up period for any counselor that gets into that seat. They're going to have to start figuring out what's already been passed and what's going to be passed and what's already in the process. And it's going to be a little daunting task. It's like you're going to have to hit the ground running and figure out where you can go.
And how do you think that you can represent those people that will vote for you, but also the ones that voted for someone else?
Well, I was told by a lot of people before I even ran, they said, when you get elected, you're not only working for the people that elect you, but for every single citizen within the town, from the babies to the elderly. So you have to do what's best for the majority of the Merrittonians to keep moving forward. So you can't allow, like, okay, this person didn't vote for me. You have to always think what's best for our community and what's best to keep moving forward.
I think you kind of touched on it already. What are some of the other concerns that people have talked to you about?
They've talked to me about the theater, they've talked to me about the roads, they've talked to me about the underground infrastructure, like the water pipes that burst and break all over town because they're older. I know on my street, every couple of years, it keeps inching closer towards my house, another break, especially if a frost comes. They're worried about floods and seeing if the berms are high enough, because sometimes they get up really high and people are on Facebook saying, oh my God, look how close it is to the top. And then well, there's a lot of things I'm not sure, because not privy to what's happening inside the council, so I don't know what they're working on or what their goal is and what funding they have available to them.
What is your approach to handling controversial and complicated issues?
You have to look at each situation as it comes, but you have to look at the big picture, the small picture, and what's in between. So you always have to go and try to figure out which way is best to approach it. And then with some people, it's more technical facts. With some people, it's more just like generic, this is how it goes. And then some people like the long description. So it's gonna be how it, I don't know, like you have to, with working as a counselor, you're gonna have to learn to navigate the river. And sometimes it's gonna be tough and sometimes it's gonna be easy. Like I've talked to Mr. Christofferson and he says, sometimes it's gonna be hard to make choices and people are not gonna like your choices. But you have to always make sure that you have information that supports the choice and why you made the choice. You can't just be like Jello. You always have to make sure that people know that you're firm and you know why you made that choice and why it would be better for the citizens of Merritt.
Why do you think that people should vote for you?
I think if Merritt is one of the smartest communities I've ever seen. Like I've lived in Kamloops and I love Merritt because Merritt will make a choice for themselves. So they will look at somebody and they'll be like, that's the person that best represents me, or that person, they engage with me, or that person kind of seems like they can help me. So I think Merritt will make a choice. Whatever choice they make is the best choice for them, and I will respect whatever their decision is.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No. I don't know. I love this community. It's part of my heart. I swear it's half my DNA because the amount of dirt I've swallowed in all my years of life. I don't know. Every single time I cross over the hill and I see the lights or the town, I'm like, I'm home. This is where I belong.
Oh, that's so nice. Well, thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Anytime.